Hello, everybody. I presume I'm just waiting for my stream to go live so I can pause it because it's going to start talking. Come on. Or don't go live. I don't care. Here we go. No, paused. All good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Project Doc. I'm your host, Brian Locke, as you all know. So this is a live stream where we see what you guys are working on. So if you want to join the stream and give a few minutes of a presentation, basically, not a presentation, that's too formal, like just a chat about your project, come on in, just join the Discord. It's a link in the description, and just tag me, so I'm at Brian L, and just say that you want to show something, and I will invite you to the very special Project Doc waiting area section of Discord, and that's where you will find the link to StreamYard. And so that's pretty much it for me. You will notice my closet is closed. I closed it literally the last thing I did before starting the stream. So I actually saw it this time. I was hoping to have a new camera for today, but my camera didn't arrive. I bought a DSLR, but it hasn't arrived yet. It should hopefully be here tomorrow. So I probably will mainly use it for face cams, and for my last video I did on the channel, which is about a month ago now, I did a lot of shots like from basically over here with my phone pointing down towards the desk. I am going to probably use the camera for that kind of shots more often. Just want to say hello to everybody in the chat that are saying hi. Tetra 3D Print, Michael, Mike, Johnny, Dave, Adam, Mike, the Shipu was drafty with the closet open, and everybody else, whoever I missed, John Raymond, Patrick Rankin, Henrik, Roterfruchtsverg, is that how you pronounce that? Roterfrucht. I would have expected a few squiggly things on top of letters there, but so hello to everybody. So before we get started, because we don't actually have anybody here to show yet, I suppose I better show you something. We were talking a little bit about parts of this on the stream the last day with Dave. So let me share a different part of my screen. Close that. Desk plus me surely only has my stuff on it, right? Okay, awesome. So here is my desk. Stuff is a little bit too far away. Okay, so what I'm doing here at the moment, what I've been doing this evening, is I'm testing my my Flexi Friends, because exciting news, I have a new stockist of it coming online, a European-based stockist. I don't want to say who they are just yet, but I'm really excited about it. It was somebody at the start of the year I wanted to target, and target being like, as in, I had a goal to see if I could get my stuff on their shop, and they're taking a couple of items, the Flexi Friend being one of them, and the power blockers being another. So I'm really, really happy with that. So what I was doing this afternoon was testing the Flexi Friends, and what I'm using, the thing that I showed last week, I'm using so much weird stuff here, basically. But here is my Mac charger. Here is this device that I was showing on the stream last week. So it's a thing where you can plug in a power supply and it becomes a PD power source. It also accepts PD in and will, output various different levels of PD out. So the Mac power supply can't do 12 volts, but I needed 12 volts for this thing. So I have it connected to this. This thing is taking 20 volts in, and you can see it actually here. maybe that's a 12% what it's outputting. Yeah, so it takes 12 volts, or sorry, 20 volts in, outputs 12 volts. This thing is negotiating, or sorry, is the thing that's requesting the 12 volts. That's plugged into this load tester, and this load tester is actually, I don't know how accurate it is exactly, but it's pretty good. Like, as in, it goes, I think it can do a couple of 100 watts or something. Like, it's pretty significant. So what I do is I take my Flexi Friend, and I have another cable. So this is a PD cable that's connected to a power bank. And I first set it to 15 volts using the switch. That's not really very focused, but there is a switch here that you can flick between 15 volts and 20 volts. So what I do is I have a little adapter made up here. So I use one of the flexible cables that comes with the Flexi Friends if you buy that add-on. So what I just do is I plug it in, and I plug in the cable. And so you see there's a bit of a voltage drop here, but that isn't to do with the Flexi Friend. I'm pretty sure it's to do with this janky connector and stuff. But yeah, so that's negotiated 15 volts like it should. So then I plug it out, switch it to the 20 volts, plug it in again, and I leave it run for a minute or two, or not a minute or two, like 10 seconds, and just let it do its thing. Like, the Flexi Friend doesn't actually pass, like I've made this, it doesn't ever do 2.4 amps usually. So it's just going a little bit above what the standard, TS100 would take. And also the TS100 never has a constant high current draw. Like, it draws a little bit, it draws full power while heating up, but when it hits that, then it stays pretty constant. So the other thing that I just check is just make sure that nothing is hot on the board. So I have had some failures, which I have not looked into to see what is the cause or whatever of them. I have some in a bag here. Just a reminder that if anybody has a project that they want to show, the link is in the description to the Discord. Just tag me in it at Brian L. So when I'm finished this presentation, I don't know what will degrade into. I have actually one more thing that I can potentially show if I have the. Yes, I think I can. Yep. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this one either doesn't work at all, or it is a bit loose in the okay, so you won't be able to hear that, but actually I think that's my power bank that's making that noise. So this is actually working. Maybe it was just a bit loose or something. I have it in a bag labeled faulty. Maybe I was too eager to say that it was faulty. I'm going to put it back in the bag that says faulty, though, even if this does work. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. Maybe it was just the cable I was using the last time or something. But anyways, yeah, so that is my Flexi Friend testing process. My wife is currently downstairs testing power blockers. The power blocker tester is, I made a video on it on the main channel before. It's basically, it's an Arduino Nano that has like the GPIO pins connected to a male USB connector and a female USB connector, and basically both of them get plugged into a power blocker, and it checks every combination of potential correct states and fault states and all that good stuff. And I'd say out of the, I've tested a few thousand of them at this stage, and I think it's caught like 4 or something. Like a lot of the times you'd see if there's something wrong yourself, like, but in fairness, since I've moved to Maker Fabs, like I've had very few like failures from soldering. Like I've had a couple where like the heat shrink wasn't fully applied, or it was a bit loose, and sometimes the connector wasn't straight enough for me, like as in the USB was kind of at an angle. So yes, uh, I as I mentioned, like I have a failure rate of way less than 1%, but at the same time, it's kind of like a, I don't know, reputational thing. Like, as in, I do not want a reseller having any problems with, hey, this thing doesn't work or did work or whatever. So, yeah, cool. YouTube seems to be crashing all around people. That's weird. I'm giving such a fantastic presentation that it's just causing some crashes, maybe. Let me see if I can show you that other thing, as we still don't have anybody yet. This will be the shortest. Thing going. Let's see. Is it this one? I think it is. BLE client. Is it? BLE client. No, it's not BLE client. Where is it? Simple BLE. I surely saved it as something, right? Long cat on demand. Maybe I put it somewhere weird. I was definitely working on it on my PC and then moved it over to my Mac, but I don't think I really did anything significant on my Mac. So open recent, nothing there. Sorry, I'm just looking for the project that I was working on. BLE client. Sure, it doesn't matter. I can just copy the code back from my gist, because I saved it on gist. It's weird that I don't have it though. Okay, just 2 seconds while I do that. Let me move you guys to the side. So is there anything that you want to talk about in the chat? I will gladly talk crap for a few minutes. That's what I'm best at. Let's see. Let's go to gist.github, scale.ino, raw. Let's paste that in here. Let's call this scale. I'm pretty sure I saved it before, but anyways. Actually, I probably won't even need to program it at all, seeing as it will more than likely just be on this this tiny Pico I have here. Let's see, where is my face? Oh, we have a guest, so let's save this thing for another minute, because I am delighted to welcome back. Although he's checking something on his phone, so I'll just give him his. Oh yeah, he needs a minute. Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah, so this is a weighing scales. I think I showed this, and I had the idea of connecting to it, and oh, we've got we've a second participant. Ooh, this is fancy. Yeah, this is a weighing scales. I showed it the last time, and I had planned to get it talking to an ESP32, and I now have that working. So let's see if I can plug it in here. Let's see what's going on. Let's make sure I can see it on the serial monitor first. Wake up, weighing scales. I'll just I will just be back in 2 seconds. We'll worry about it some other time. Okay, I think the guest is ready. Yep, looks good. Okay, so welcome back, Dan and Dan Cam. Just 1 second, Dan. I need to put my headphones on. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's going to be an echo if I don't. Okay, I should be able to hear you okay now.
All right. Let's see. Is there
no
echo now?
Just can you mute Dan Cam?
Oh, I have to mute. Yep.
And how? I never figured out how to make just one person be the main guy. Oh, I can here. I can drag you around. Okay. I presume Dan Cam is going to be the star of the show, is he?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure how to get it out of portrait mode, but figure that out.
It's fine.
That's all right. I'll just turn everything a little bit. Cool. So I've been experimenting with LCDs, segment LCDs, and so I've played before a lot with segment LEDs, right? So this kind of thing. And these are like super easy. That you can drive them. You can even drive them straight from your microcontroller if you want, because they're just basically like a bunch of LEDs next to each other. And so, but I've gotten into playing with these segment LCDs for a project coming up, which is going to be a kind of a clock that has to be battery powered, right? So, sorry, I got feedback coming from from the phone over here. There we go.
Oh, the speaker on the phone, isn't it?
Yeah, but I won't mute for some reason. I don't know why. That's all right. So anyway, so the project I'm working on is going to be battery powered, and so I wanted to use these kind of reflective segment LCDs because they can go to be really low power. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just see if I can adjust that anymore. Yeah, for some reason the audio on that on my phone doesn't want to turn off. So I'll just speak over myself. Can you hear that or no?
There's a tiny bit. It's not bad. Is yours a phone that has a headphone jack on it anymore?
Unfortunately not. That's
I'm the same.
Appears to be obsolete these days, which is very strange to me.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was like, oh, I'll just plug in. Oh, I can't. My Bluetooth headphones ran out of battery.
Settings, sounds. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but give it a try. Oh no! Now I'm gone.
We've lost one.
Sorry. Coming
That's
back.
Okay.
I just realized it was running in the context of Discord somehow because I followed a link from Discord.
Yeah, I hate the way it does that, and I keep telling stuff to open in their own instance, and I don't know, it keeps happening.
Yeah, very strange.
Okay, Dan Cam is back.
There we go.
Ooh, it looks like he's facing the wrong way.
I'm facing the wrong way. Oh no.
I get to see, just for everybody else, there's a background view, like a backstage view, and I get to see stuff before I add it to the stream.
There we go. I think that's working now.
Yeah, looks
All
good.
Right, cool. All right. So, sorry. Anyway, So I've been experimenting with these little 7-segment LCDs for a project because they're nice and low power, and I'm gonna do a clock that I want to run for at least a few months at a time on a few AA batteries. So so that's been the plan. Unfortunately, you can't run these quite as easily. So I've been experimenting with different driver chips to run them, and so I made this little tester board. This is from JLC, and it was just kind of for the sole purpose of experimenting with this chip, which is a HT1621, I think it is, 1621B. And I mostly chose that out of the millions because it's a basic part on JLC, unlike everything else. And so it's super cheap, and I'm hoping to get it assembled at some point. So that makes it appealing. And unlike most of the, it seems like there's a lot of stock shortages on JLC with their assembled parts a lot. So this seems to be the one LCD driver that they consistently stock and is very cheap. So I figure that's a good target for what I'm working on. So I put together this little board. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Mark at the last one. There's shortages on loads of different things at the moment. Like I was talking to Sion during the week, the Unexpected Maker, and he was saying he was saying that, like, you know, cost of some components, even if they're available, have just gone up so much. Like, so yeah. It's probably a bad time to be in the hardware game, but
yeah, I know that's what it seems like. But you know, whatever.
We're crafty though. We'll figure something out.
Now I'm having light issues. Pull out this little pocket light here. It helps a little bit.
I have a big giant. I have a big giant light ring above my head doing my lighting for me.
That's a nice idea. I picked up a couple of these. They're called Luma Cubes. They're like little battery operated.
Yeah, that's handy. All right.
Yeah, but you got to fiddle with them a little bit. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So this seems to be a chip that I can get reliably, unlike a lot of things these days. And so I put together this little tester chip, and there is an Arduino library written, but it's really to support a separate module that uses this chip. So I really have to do a lot of modifications on it to get it to work. But I seem to have modified it enough at least to get some characters showing on this, which is great. So this is kind of my proof of concept. So I guess just a little bit of background on LCDs before I get to my kind of question for you and the audience is, so the way these work is, this has 32 segments on this, and there's 40 pins. And so this is kind of the simplest possible arrangement where you have one common backplane, they call it, which is the equivalent to the common anode or cathode on an LED display. And then 32 other pins are connected directly to the segments. And the complexity with LCDs is you have to run them at this AC voltage, flip-flopping back and forth. And that's why you really need a driver chip, is you need something that can generate that flip-flopping back and forth. And if you don't, then if you just apply DC current to these segments, you damage them, and they'll get kind of stuck in one or the other if they're polarized for too long. So that's kind of like the added bit of complexity with LCDs. So oftentimes these have even more segments or fewer pins, and the way that they multiplex it is that they have, instead of one common, they have up to four common backplanes. And so this is done with 32 pins and one common, but it could also be done with only 8 pins and 4 commons. And then you're kind of multiplexing, and you can say, you know, the first segment is the 8 segment pins plus the first backplane. You know, that allows for some multiplexing, right? And this chip actually supports multiplexing up to 4 backplanes, but I'm only using 1, right? So it struck me, my project is going to have at least 2 of these LCD screens, and it struck me, is it possible / recommended / is there anything wrong with using one of these chips, which is really made to drive one LCD with multiple backplanes, and to use that as a driver to drive multiple LCDs that each have one backplane?
I don't see it. I definitely wouldn't see a problem with trying it, anyways.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest concern would be is there potentially refresh issues, but I can't imagine it would be an issue if it's designed to
multiplex like
to
that.
multiplex. Like I don't see why one screen with 4 backplanes would be any different than 4 screens with one
With
backplane.
one. Yeah, I guess the only thing that I'm a little bit in the dark about it in terms of completely understanding it is there's some pretty complex waveforms that it generates on these pins to get both the combination of flip-flopping polarity back and forth and to have the average voltage work out to something that is the segment is either on or off, right? And I'm kind of assuming that when it's doing that, that all those backplanes are kind of independent from each other in terms of those waveforms that are generated. But my only worry would be if they actually are somehow dependent on each other, that if you split it up like that, that each screen might not get the right bias, the right polarity kind of bias, and might eventually end up getting damaged by getting too polarized in one direction or the other. And that's where I'm a little in the dark about the nitty-gritty details of LCDs.
Well, I do not have an answer for that, but maybe somebody in the chat does. I definitely think it would be worth trying, although how expensive are the screens?
They're not too bad. So these are, I have some from DigiKey. It seems like that I found these ones on AliExpress for a few dollars, so they're not too bad, but I got to wait a month or something to get them. They're only a couple dollars each. And then this is actually one from DigiKey, and it seems like these AliExpress ones which are from Good Display are kind of a knockoff of these other ones, which are, I can't remember the company that makes these, but they're a pin for pin, same size, same pins.
Oh, really?
So they both kind of work, which is nice. Veritronics, I think, is who makes this display, and that's on DigiKey. I actually also found recently, if anybody's interested in being a LCD warehouse, I posted it in your Discord. I found a lot of 630 LCD screens for, I think it's $40 or $45. They look to be pretty similar to these. So
wow.
I can't store a box of 630 LCD screens, but for $40, you almost can't afford not to. So if anybody's
you could definitely sell them on Tindy or something.
Yeah, something. So if anybody's looking to get into the LCD distribution business for a little bit, let me know. I'll be your first customer.
There was a guy on Twitter there at one stage who bought a load of Sharp screens.
In fact, I bought one. Yeah.
And yeah, what was interesting about that was, so how I heard about it was he tagged me on Twitter along with literally everybody who has ever done electronics in their life, and I was like, okay, this guy does not have much of a tweet history. He's tagged a bazillion people. He has like generic name, like I can't remember exactly what it is,
RWB,
but it's like,
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, it has a load of numbers at the end of it. Like, as in, if I tweeted something, my name on it is Brian Locke. It's my tag is at Witness Me Now, but like I have identifying information, and like I was like, man, people are so trusting to like send this guy money, but he absolutely like humble pie all over my face. He did deliver to everybody as far as I can tell. But I just thought that was really interesting.
I stumbled on that like after some had already been delivered, so there was some Twitter evidence that it would actually happen. But yeah, I picked one of those up as well.
Yeah. So Dave thought it was sketchy as well. That was my reaction. I don't know. Maybe
Well, I must admit, and I'm probably 80% of the buyers fall into the same category. I must admit, it's sitting in a box and I haven't, hooked it up yet. So
yeah,
I don't know if it actually works, but seems like it's in good condition. So
yeah, I'm sure it's fine. In a box like everything else I've ordered. But Keaton he missed it. What was Dan's concern with the driver? So Dan's concern with the driver was that his driver is made to drive a single LCD that has up to 4 backplanes, and he is wondering would it cause any problems to drive two LCDs, each with their own individual backplane with the single driver? I think, is that a correct summary?
Yeah, I think that sums it up. And yeah, I don't mind. So if there's an obvious reason I shouldn't do it, I won't spin up a similar PCB with two LCDs on it. Otherwise, I might just try it. My main concern is like, is there subtle damage that I'm doing to this LCD that I won't notice until 2 or 3 months down the line, which I heard it can happen if you don't get your voltage bias
does the data sheet say anything about driving more than one LCD or?
No, but it's not the best data sheet either. So it might be a good idea to kind of like browse a similar driver's data sheet and see if they mention that as a possibility. But it's been a difficult thing to Google.
Yeah, it uses I2C to drive it, does it?
Let's see. This one does not. This one's its own kind of serial protocol, 2 or 3 wire protocol. But
yeah, it's
pretty easy to drive. So
nice.
So anyway, that's my
project. Now that HK, I've used the HK chip before on a 7-segment display. The Adafruit Featherwing backpacks used them. HT, yeah, whatever it is. The Adafruit Featherwing backpacks used them, and I wanted to create an ESP8266 with a 7-segment, like all-in-one module. So I ended up doing that. One thing that I thought was interesting, though, was that the 7-segment, like 4-character 7-segment display modules that you can get from China have less pins than the ones that Adafruit use on their backpacks. They have, I can't remember what the difference is. I think the colon, I think it could be to do with the colon that the 7-segment displays from China physically have 4 dots after the 7 segments. Like each 7 segment has a dot as well, but the colon of the clock module is hooked into the second dot, the dot of the second character or something. I can't remember what. It's something. Yeah, it's something strange like that. So like when I was using the Adafruit the Adafruit 7-segment backpack library, I had to make like a minor change to get the colon working.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So the chip
there's some little subtle differences.
Yeah, I think that's the one I used, the 16K33.
Interesting. Yeah, 1621B.
Yep.
21B. So fairly similar. But well, that's good to know. But yeah, I think I'll probably spin up a PCB to try multiplexing it with multiple chips. But yeah, it'd be good to know if anybody has the expertise. Like, is my LCD gonna stop working or get stuck in a couple months?
Well, if anybody does know, tag Dan. There's a couple of people mentioning that Dave Jones, so EEV blog, had a video where he was using an LCD using DC for years, and it worked just fine.
Interesting. So that's good to know that they're. I think it's funny. Any new electronics, like you hear, oh, it's really fragile in this certain way, and then the more you play with it, it's like that's not the end of the world. It's there's certain things that really matter, and there are certain things you can kind of get close enough.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like say for example, PCB design. There's like the rule that you can't use right angle for your traces. And like that, as far as I know, I'm no expert on the subject, but as far as I know, that's like to do with like a method of etching boards that is not used at all anymore, and like is not impacted by modern PCB fabrication techniques at all.
That was the acute angles thing. Was I think they call it an acid trap, that you're not supposed to have acute angles like that, and that's like acid traps aren't really a thing anymore.
Yeah, so like then but now it's become a thing that you just don't do because people will tell you not to do it. And that's the only reason you don't do it now is because
just because it's old wisdom. Exactly.
And there's this like kind of like fable or story or whatever about like these monkeys in a lab, and they're there's a ladder, and every now and again bananas get dropped down from the ceiling just above the ladder, and like I think the like rain put the sprinklers on the monkeys anytime one of them goes on the ladder, so they all figure, hey, we can't go on the ladder anymore, but they keep swapping monkeys out. But the monkeys that have the experience keep telling the monkeys to not go up, and then eventually no monkey has ever seen the water come down, but they're still not going up the ladder to get these bananas. Or I'm sure there's a better way of describing it, but that's what it feels like.
No, that's very true. It took me a while to get where you were going, but I got it there. I got there eventually. It's very true. Yeah, a lot of old wisdom that some of which no longer applies.
Yeah, so some people, what are we? The Shipu thinks it just looks bad. That's the right angle stuff. Keaton think there's impedance discontinuity. I'm sure that has impacts on some things. And then Peter was saying you need to chamfer corners for signal integrity reasons on anything high speed. That's probably true, but I think most people probably wouldn't. Brian, wouldn't be doing that stuff.
You kicked a hornet's nest by saying you were going to route your traces at 90 degrees.
I didn't say I was going to do it. I don't do it because I just don't want to be told not to do it.
Like a lot of things in electronics, it seems like it matters at high speed or if you're doing RF, but if you're not, then
And then at higher speeds, you even switch the curves is another one. And so Simple Electronics has heard about my monkey experiment thing. So,
it's a real thing.
That was a real thing. Robin was saying about like the artistic PCBs. They use all kind of crap. Well,
on that note, before I leave you, let me get I'll give you the preview of what this is going into.
Do like Like one thing that I think it's worth bearing in mind, especially if you're making like PCBs where they're almost just like connectors to different modules and stuff, is that like most of the time you would plug this into a crappy breadboard and you'd have like crappy jumper wires connecting all these different things across. So like if you put a trace that has 1,000,000 right angles in it, it's still going to be way better than whatever crap you had on a breadboard. Like,
No, very true. Very true. Actually, do you still have the Dan cam up?
I can bring Dan cam back to the party. 1 second.
There we go. So I just, since we're talking about artistic PCBs, I'll show you a preview of what this is going into. This is my paper model. This is a badge that I've been working on. That's like based on the design of the Mars Perseverance rover. Let's see if I can see that well. Oh, let me turn it on.
Super cool.
So I got a couple of little eyes on it. And so this is basically, I don't have any real artistic talent myself, but I do have quite a lot of talent for poring over technical drawings and photos and tracing a vector drawing of basically what's already there. So that's a fairly accurate, representation of the kind of rover head. And I'm trying to figure out what to do exactly with this design. This is a little big for a badge, so I might do a slightly kind of smaller one of this. But the real idea and the inspiration for working with these LCDs is I want to incorporate this into a clock that's like a Mars clock. And so this won't tell you at all what time it is on Earth, but it'll tell you what time it is on Mars for the rover, which is what sol it is, like how long it's been alive, and a number of Martian days, which they call sol. And then this is its local. The LMST is local Martian solar time. So when this reads 12, the sun is overhead for the rover. And there's some cool algorithms out there that I plan to kind of port to Arduino to calculate rover time given Earth time.
There's a bit of demand for that in the chat here. I'll just take him away because the echo goes away when he's not there. So Keaton thinks a small After Dark version, so the Oshpark After Dark, that would look very nice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Robin looks sweet, want to have, love the design. Oh, that looks nice, very nicely done. That's fancy. That product would sell. That's a nice idea. I like it. So there you
I was
go.
just
There's demand.
floating the idea for the first time, but glad to hear that.
Yep.
There's some demand for it. So,
Okay,
but now I'll play
then,
the game of chicken of how much to order when I get there. But
oh yes, that is the dance.
But I will leave you there. But thanks for having me on as usual.
No, thank you, Dan. Appreciate you coming on. So thank you. Right, that was Dan with his LCD questions and also that really cool Mars rover thing. And next up, we have Target. Hello.
Hey, Brian.
How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, man, I'm really dark here. I couldn't see that in the preview.
Yeah, I have, as I mentioned in the last thing, I have a big light pointed directly at me. If I turn that off, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing
darker.
I can possibly do here is make it absolutely worse.
What you can do is change your monitor to have a big white blank screen. That's I actually legitimately sometimes use that.
I have literally got the whitest pages. I've got Tindy in the and the StreamYard page up.
That's okay.
No
problem.
Yeah, I was popping in because this week I've been putting more stock of my ESP32S2 module clipboard. If no one's seen it before, it's literally to take the S2 modules and be able to.
It's impressive that you can do that looking in the camera preview.
I might as well have had my eyes closed. I've been doing testing on these, so you can see the label on there. That's my pin test code. So I'll just I'll pop that one in.
I actually bought a few of
and then just go around making sure that every pin's active.
Yeah.
And then I've got my other one, which has got the version of CircuitPython for it on, so I can do the USB check. So literally, that's just plug in the USB and so long as CircuitPython opens up a drive, USB's all good.
I bought a couple of the ESP32 ones recently because I potentially hope to make stuff with ESP32s on them. I haven't actually done anything with an S2 yet, not a single thing. I have an early prototype of your board.
Oh yeah.
Because the story behind that is basically I had an ESP32 S2 module before most people did, because I tweeted that I was doing a capacitive touch thing. I was testing, could I hook it to a door handle? And it wasn't that sensitive, or at least, it wasn't really sensitive enough. It was okay, but it wasn't great. And John from Espressive messaged me. It was like, hey, do you want to try out the S2? The touch is way better. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds cool. And I was expecting a dev board, but 3 modules came in the post. I was like,
they sent C on all the devs.
Yeah, he had like this fancy camera contraption thing that was about 50 different pieces that's slotted together. But
since developing this, I've trapped myself in Project Help. I've got a few things I can do with this. I've done the port of the CircuitPython over to it, which was GitHub hell for me. First time really using it and kind of just finding my way around. But then since then, I'm moving on to 80 tiny projects.
Ooh.
I've got bits and bobs of other things, and then the ESP32 because I'm using your I2C board for the Matrix. So I've every project I've come up with since developing this board can't use an S2 on it. It's Murphy's. But
Murphy's Law. Yeah.
Because I was making these up today, I'm just gonna hit the screen share and hope. I did like a 20-second time lapse of why these things are $30. That makes any sense.
Yeah. And after the video, or maybe the video will show it, could we see if we could get like a close in on the I suppose the Tindy page will probably show it too, but like let me just actually quickly show one of the standard ones. The work it works the same, right? It's of like your one uses similar kind of frog pin style things
Similar.
Yeah. So let me just grab, I have a couple of them here and I can show it up on the big screen. So here's, I think yours are fancier, to be honest, than this one. This is my ESP A266 one. Let me just go to Desk Plus Me.
I've actually just found a supplier for those pins as well. So literally today in the post, I've got a little baggie full
a baggie of pins. I just
pins.
need
So
to get
with those.
Do you know what I think? Might be an interesting one too is the I'm just getting autofocus off here. I was talking about it the last connectors for the Pico. So you can see it's just like it's a pin that's almost like spring loaded.
Yeah.
The module like clips into here and like pushes push back into the castellated edges. So yeah.
Whereas with mine, if I can get any kind of lighting on there.
Yours have more of a hook.
Actually, Joe, if I show my video, you can see exactly the pins. It's just a time lapse of the pins going in and soldering them.
What you're sharing at the moment isn't a video. There it is now. Yeah.
I can now not see your screen, so
yeah, that's fine.
There we go.
So you have to manually place how many? It must be 40 pins, is it?
40 odd.
Yeah. So you're putting paste on it from the top, is it?
Yeah, paste on from the top, and then that's the lot.
Nice.
There we go, and then I've got that. Whee! There we go. Yeah, so I've got that mounted on a silicon mold that I made. So 3D printed. Made a plaster mold of that, and then made a silicon mold of that so that it was heat resistant, so that I could actually do the soldering on there.
Nice.
So not quite good enough for popping it in the oven though, because there's just too many air bubbles, and it expands on itself and turns into a cake shape, and throws pins all over my oven.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I don't know what else you could potentially use. Maybe another PCB.
Since then, I've got myself one of these clamps, spring clamps.
Yeah,
and the pins actually sit into their gravity point, so you can just drop them through. But before this, I didn't have anything that actually held PCB up proud from a surface. So I'm now doing them on this. But like I say, this only arrived yesterday.
Yeah. So if anybody is doing work on an ESP32S2 board, like if they're designing a board, what Target has built is super useful. Like as I mentioned, I literally just bought like the equivalent for the two different ESP32 modules, because it allows you to program them before you attach it to the board really easily. So if you're selling something, and you want a quick way of programming it, that is the quickest way. You don't want to be plugging it into the USB every time to do that. So definitely well worthwhile. So
here we go. The public exclusive to force myself into doing it.
Make a commitment publicly.
I'm I'm on constant refresh on the expressive page, waiting for the S3 module datasheet to come out. Because seems logical to me that I'd step onto that. I decided to skip the C3 just because of that lack of USB support, and that was one of the main features on my board, having the 2 USB.
Yeah.
So the one that connects to the CP2104 and then the other one that's direct to the module.
Yep. Yeah. No, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, thanks, Target. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or show?
Yeah, and unless anyone wants to sit and do some I2C but debugging with me, I'm all good.
Yeah, that's definitely not my forte. If it just doesn't work, I'm outie.
I can show my initial success.
Go for it if you'd like. Woo! You got blinking.
I've got blinking. I just can't get it to do the animations. So more complicated. Yeah, more bashing my fist into Arduino IDE is the next stage for that.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so what I might get you to do is leave me your Tindy link and stuff in that server channel, and I'll update the description afterwards. So if anybody's looking to get that board,
Awesome.
You'll know where to get it. And yeah, hopefully you'll be back to show us what that board is with animations a little bit later.
It's a tight deadline on that one. That's my Christmas 2021 project.
Was it originally for Christmas 2020?
No, I missed my Christmas 2021 because of work commitments in the autumn. Just went absolutely bananas.
Yeah,
but this is an entirely new project.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because I ordered my PCB, the newer revisions of my PCB3, just trialing it out in like December, purposely for Christmas 2021.
For next year.
Like, as in, I was not at all trying to get it in for 2020, and I'm glad I didn't, because like postage was just a nightmare for me, at least in December and January. So, yep. That's it. Dave Darko has put a link in the chat if anybody wants to click that. He's one of the few mods. I actually would have made Johnny a mod there, but I'm not logged in as my Lock and Load account on YouTube, so I don't have the power to make him a mod. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Target, for joining, and I will chat to you again.
All right. Cheers all.
Cool. So that was Target, mainly talking about his ESP32S2 prog. I'm a bit bright. I might turn down the light above me. Yeah, so no, nice one. Maiko is also complaining that he is not a mod. I have the same problem, Maiko. I am not logged in as Lock and Load, so I can't mod you at the moment. Okay, so what I was going to show was I was going to show something else to you guys. Let me share my screen. I just have to figure out which screen is mine to share. Not that one. Screen 2. Allow. Yeah, for like most people, when they click share screen, it starts in the thing below, but I don't know, for me, it goes straight in. Okay, so I have on my Tiny Pico some code running here that is potentially connecting to this, which is Xiaomi Smart Scales. This thing was like £17 off Amazon. So it has a display on the top of it, like any weighing scales. But what it also does is it shares the information to your phone over Bluetooth or BLE. So what I'm hoping here is I might need to restart the Tiny Pico. Where is the Tiny Pico? Here it is. Let me just reset. I was playing around with a jumper cable there a second ago. There we go. We've reset that. So it's connected. And yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that this is matching. I might be able to. I can bend it down enough here. But let's see. Just need to go to desk plus me. And now I need to focus desk way out. Yeah, so you can see here, like what's on screen is matching what's on the display. And it's hard when I'm stepping on it to get it to sit, like it moves around until it finds the correct weight. And it's hard for me to like apply an appropriate amount of pressure for it to stop. I'll try using 2 legs. Okay, so it's sat on 225 there, and you see where it flashed the serial monitor called it a definitive reading. I don't see where it is anymore, but it was up at the 25, so it was definitely, yeah, there it is, 20.25 definitive. So yeah, so I would stand on it, but I'm rather heavy. Yeah, so actually on the Discord as well, just we started last week. There's a few of us who are doing a weekly weigh-in. So we're just going to kind of track. Let me stop sharing my screen. We're just going to track how we're getting on. So I started at 97 kg, so I have plenty of room for improvement. Lockdown has not been kind to me. But in fairness, for the last week or so, I have been eating much more appropriately. So very little snacking and just eating what I'm meant to be eating. And yeah, so hopefully this week's weigh-in, it'll be a bit better. I haven't significantly increased my exercise yet, though, so I need to get on that. But that is where I'm going with that. So yeah, I have a couple of ideas for that weigh-in scales thing, including one that I talked with Sion about. That like how I ended it with him was like, I will look into it, and I literally meant I will look into it, and not the way my dad would be like, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so yeah. Dave says, well, at least I'm under 100. That's true. I have been heavier in my life than I am now, so that's always good. But I was much lighter at one stage too. I went from like 16 stone down to 14 stone, I think. Low 80s in kilograms anyway. So I lost a lot of weight at one stage, but I slowly put it back on again. So time to go back around to getting back into shape. Yeah, so I have a thing on Discord here. It's Target sharing the link. That's good. Yeah, so we are kind of at time, unless anybody has anything else. I have basically nothing else to show you. I have a good bit of Tindy stuff to do in the next couple of days. In terms of, I have none of this week's orders packed yet. So that is something I need to do. The other thing that I've been trying to do is to spend an hour or two working on some automation for the Tindy stuff. So I showed at the MakerCast the automation I was doing for the address stuff. So that was something I did 2 weeks ago. Last week I worked on automating getting the tracking numbers from the email and like marrying them up with the order details. So I have that done this week. Now I think I want to try. I have like a Google Sheets that I use to keep track of the status of the orders, because Tindy doesn't have enough statuses for me. Tindy has like not shipped and shipped, but I have a stage where I like pack the order, and I also have a stage where I can buy the shipping, and then I have another stage where it's shipped. Right. So I need 4 stages. So I use a Google Sheets to keep track of that. And it also helps with like a really Tindy specific problem that nobody cares about unless they're a Tindy seller, that basically some orders get held for review, which means like you can get emailed, hey, you got a new order. And when you go to Tindy, it's actually like the 5th order down on your list. So it actually can be hard to track what the new order was or whatever. So the Google Sheets helps with that too. So if I could get the tracking, so I have the order ID, which would be a key for like where, find the Excel line where order ID equals this and put the tracking number in. So on like a CSV file, I have both the order ID and the tracking number in the same line. So now I just need to work with the Google Sheets API or something. Yes. The Flexi friends are now animals. No, I didn't steal. I used the same boxes as my kids do for some of their toys, and they broke this box, but it's not badly broken. I just put a bit of sellotape on it, so I swapped one of my boxes with one of their boxes. So that is why it says animals on it. And there was a fancy sticker. You'll never be able to see it, with some animals on it that was making good use of the label printer. Yeah. There looks like there's a tray of brownies on the trolley behind me. Does there? There isn't. Which are the brownies? The Flexi friends? Yeah, no, there is no brownies. No brownies in my life. Gavin will lose a stone when he goes to the barber's. I have been cutting my hair regularly enough, but man, I'd love to get my hair cut. Below the animals are I2S matrix shields. So they're pre-kitted. As I've mentioned a few times on different things, I try to not sell anything that isn't like, as in I won't list stuff on Tindy unless it's already bagged. Like even if I know I have the stock to make up bags, unless it's bagged like that, it's not going on Tindy. God, I'd love to have hair that needs to be cut. Yeah, it's a funny situation, isn't it? You just grew too tall for your hair, Colin. I was looking at Darrow Breen getting slagged in a YouTube video today, so I don't know. Are they tasty? Look, everything's food if you eat it, right? Okay, so we have, I think this is nearly going to turn into a weekly thing, but we have not Angus Darko. Hello.
I'm sorry. I swear,
okay.
when you were saying your last words, when you were starting, like, oh, so we were about, done here. Let's finish this. I was in here and not on the stream, so I didn't see that before.
That's okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna make it quick anyways. It's
go for
just something.
All the time in the world.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not sure. Was it less? I think it was 2 shows ago or 3. I'm not sure. I wasn't on the main channel, but I was talking about 3D prints and how I don't like printing big things with the plane and stuff. Yeah, that's what I did the last 2 or 3 days. Oh, it's
printed big things.
I think I started yesterday, but it feels like 2 or 3 days because
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently printing
What are you going to put in all
a
that?
lot. That's a good question. Thank you for asking. Maybe the size of the trays. Is it a tray? It's a drawer thingy because there's a handle in here, and I'm planning to print a much bigger print.
I know. I actually know what you're, but not. I wouldn't have guessed just from the size, but I know from your Twitter what it is.
Yeah. So in here are the
nice.
samples of the wired resistors, and I was thinking about it for a moment because I had this big pack of all the resistors. It was 2 stacks of them, and when you go through them, first you have like it's 24 values in a way, and it's called the E24 series. So I made that connection when I counted all the values. Like it's 1K, 100, 100K, 1 million, 1 ohm, and then there was 1.1, 1.6, and I don't know, so many values. And when I had them all stacked up, I was counting the stacks and I was like, oh, 24. Okay, 24.
Now I know where the E24 comes from. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I was then thinking about how can I put the stacks away so it makes sense, so you have a kind of system to quickly get, I don't know, 3.9 ohm resistors, because you totally need them. But so I was thinking what would be the best size to have something that's stackable, or do I just put them in a bag, each one, and then I go through bags that aren't labeled very well because I sometimes don't do that.
Yep, no feeling.
Yeah, so I thought, well, I always wanted to try my CR10S with the Prusa slicer anyway, and then I dusted off the build plate and was cleaning it with water and soap, and then I started fresh and did slight modifications because I'm printing with a 0.8 millimeter nozzle.
Did you have to make the wall sticker or something?
Yes, but only the one where. Well, first I had to tell it to do the what is it? The seam. There's this point where it starts on the layer. I just told it to do it right at the back. So because I have some under extrusion problems, that was the easiest way to get there. Because otherwise I would have some. Is this the right size? Yeah, the under extrusion is over here. So then I swapped some things, made a wall thicker, but now I have all these entry points within the inserts. But I said to myself, okay, that's not that bad. I can live with that. And then I continued printing, and I only need 8 of these trays, and I have 6. Yeah.
How big is the print?
It is, I think it's 24 centimeters on the long size. Yeah. So you can't print it on the Prusa Mini or the other Prusa.
Can't print it on the Ender either. I think. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Possibly you can on the. I can't remember exactly what the build size is. I definitely wouldn't print something that big on it anyways, or even, like, to be honest, I wouldn't print anything even close to the limit of bed. Unexpected Makers, then he has to do some prints that are 2 parts, and he's not looking forward to it. Just buy a bigger printer.
That's actually an option, I guess.
Or get Ivan Miranda to print it for you.
I'm not sure if Unexpected Maker has the.
He doesn't have the room. He'd have to start putting it on his roof of his house.
Yeah, gotta get rid of one sofa again.
What happened to the sofa, Sion? What happened to the sofa?
I had to get the printer. But yeah, so I was thinking about making a 2-compartment version of that. So it's shorter, and then you can even print it on the Prusa Mini. But then you also would need to print 12 of the trays because E24. Or go big and try the E48 or E96. That would be insane.
Printing. Yeah, I have like an IKEA box that I keep my these guys that I keep my resistors in, but like they're not, I have to go flicking through it to get to whatever value it is.
Yeah, I was watching a video by Look Mom No Computer with Sam, and he had this. I even have it here. Schematics of an old. It's a drum sequencer, and it also has the drums in it. So it uses a an NAND gate as an inverter, and lots of small resistors and capacitors. And I was starting to build it, and then I had like 150K and 39 ohms or something like that. And I was going through all the resistors, and at that point, after 2 values, I was like, okay, I need to do something about that.
So a question for you now, Mr. like who can build PCBs, like for something like that, would you go like I think I would nearly skip the prototyping stage for something like that. Like I just hate wires. Wires are the biggest pain in my life. Even though like on Xeon Stream, like about a year ago, Alex, Tiny LED Alex recommended a wire strippers, and it is the best wire strippers I've ever had. It just so happens to be here. Like this thing is amazing. It is everything you want from wire strippers. It just strips automatically, no problem. You can adjust how like deep you want the wire to be, how much of a cutoff. It's brilliant, but I still absolutely hate protoboarding. Like I would just skip straight to doing a PCB, and even if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So the ones that I have Xeon are, I presume they're German, so I presume they're called Vicon, WEICON, and mine is number 5. Love them. Like they're pretty much adjust free. Like I don't have to adjust the thickness of the wire. It's how like there's basically a piece of plastic here, that red thing beside my finger. That is how literally just how far down your wire is going to be when you strip it. So that gives you the love it. Yeah. So, but like, yeah, I've definitely just skipped straight past the prototyping stage because like I haven't ordered PCBs in a while, but usually I would be ordering PCBs like once a month anyways. So like the cost of me ordering 5 PCBs is $2. Like shipping doesn't even change nearly. So like $2 of my time, like I would have to spend like, I don't know, 5 minutes making a protoboard for $2 to be worth my time. I don't know, like, yeah.
There are mainly 2 things why I did want to do the breadboarding stuff. The first one was I wanted to have results within half an hour. Or
that's true. You can't do that with like I still breadboard stuff, but I just don't. Yeah. I prefer to skip straight past it.
And what I also did was I didn't breadboard up every of the 8 voice, but I was just looking at the one. I wanted to look at the easiest part of it and then just try to make a kick sound or a bass drum sound. And I kind of achieved that. but the result was very like, okay, I activated it, I triggered it, and then the sound was like on the speaker because I had no amplification. So that was the point where I was a bit frustrated about it. But yeah, the other point why I didn't start making a PCB was I don't want to use Eagle anymore, and I'm still in the learning curve point of KiCad, where I'm not so happy about starting a project in KiCad. And also, well, I started it, but KiCad is only running on my big computer, and until yesterday I forgot that I also have a laptop, an X220 with KiCad on it, so that was also hindering me to just do that. But yeah.
Nice.
KiCad.
Yeah, I have not done PCB stuff in a while. I spent I did a bit of work on making a standalone matrix board in January, or maybe even late December. I can't remember when exactly. I think it was January. I haven't done anything with it. I really have done so little making in the last month. It's crazy. Just been doing stuff out in the garden and things, but like what we would know as making in terms of electronics and stuff, I've just been, I don't know, I've spent maybe like 2 hours in the last month doing stuff. So yeah, who knows?
Well, I'm printing a lot anyways. So that was my electronics hour for March so far. And we already have half of it done. And the other thing I was doing was printing little astromechs. I can just show it.
Yeah, they're really cool. You see, I'd never do the painting because I'm super lazy, but like that looks great.
That's something that I enjoy, so that's the part I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
Still have to paint a Furby. But yeah.
Furby. Did you see that project for Awesome? They had that stream thing that Smarter Every Day used the LED matrix in. There was some meme about a bean Furby or something, like a Furby made out of baked beans. It was weird. I didn't understand it.
Oh yeah, I saw it. They actually used beans as the mold for a silicone thing, and then it was they put in not the electronics. There's
maybe.
No, I saw a video about the whole process, and that was really intense. It was Yep.
Karna maps. Now that's something I haven't heard of in a long, long time. I would have done them in college. Dave, do you know what a Karna map is?
No, but I'm also not a real engineer. Oh.
Well, that's this. Apparently, this is the level that you get to. Is so a Karna map, if I remember right, and this is literally 15 years ago since I used this information, would be you have a digital circuit where you describe what you want based on your input signals and your output signals. So say like most basic thing, you basically wanted to describe an AND gate. Like you would have AB as your input and like X as your output. And you want 0, 0 to be 0. You want 0, 1 to be 0. You want 1, 0 to be... But like if you have a more complicated thing of like, I have these 6 inputs and I want... Well, the Karna map, you would draw out all your inputs and you basically circle the things that like group together or something. And it would allow you to like reduce the amount of like circuitry you need to actually achieve the functionality of the circuit that you want. I can't remember exactly. It's a way of taking a truth table and turning it into a simple circuit. I think my explanation was terrible, but it was getting in the right direction, at least.
I will Google that. But okay.
Karna map spelled weird, spelled like
In
that.
It seems like in German it's Karnow-Veitch diagram. So there's another name, or Veitch. I have no idea.
Yeah, speaking of me being a really smart engineer, let me just show something up here. I don't know how's the best way of finding this. So for people who don't know, I am technically a qualified electronic and computer engineer.
What?
Yeah, who gave me that qualification should be shot. But yeah, so let me share my screen here. Share screen. But I got absolutely owned on Twitter the last time. So I asked this question: hey, anyone familiar with the TS100 know what the earth screw is connected to? I think it's marked J1 here. So this is the earth screw, which would be one cap between it and ground. Any idea what the value was? So I just saw the C26 here, right? And I was like, that's an unlabeled cap. There is no value anywhere. And like this 104 is clearly the value, but I actually thought for some reason this pin or this junction was labeled, and it was labeled 104. It did not immediately click with me that 104 was obviously the capacitor's value, 104 being the code for 100 nanofarads. But yeah, so there's me, qualified electronic and computer engineer, can't read a circuit diagram.
Who doesn't label all their junctions or
that's the other thing.
Puts numbers on it.
It didn't occur to me for a second that 104 was the cap value, and I immediately thought it was the junction number. But you're right. Who labels a junction? Absolutely nobody. But there we go.
It sounds like a big road in America, like the 104. Take that, and then on the I-95, and then you're gone.
Yeah. So the reason I was asking that question is because the TS100, I showed it in the TS80P video, but the TS100 has an earth screw on it here. And what that's for is basically all the power supplies let through some mains potential onto the tip of the iron, which is normally fine. I have never soldered with the earth terminal connected up, basically, and it's never been a problem. But I have seen it like light up an LED while I'm soldering. But the reason I don't connect it to anything is I'd have another like thing hanging out of my iron here, like it's a spring. It would not be pleasant to have attached at all. It's basically like a coiled up wire, so it's a spring. And what I would like to do is so the Flexi Friend has this wire that you connect from your Flexi Friend boards to the TS100. But I could potentially have this earth screw on the Flexi Friend, and basically earth the ground connection back there, because I don't bring the Flexi Friend around with me when I'm soldering. That stays relatively static. So like a coiled up thing connected to that would be no problem at all. So yeah, I think I might see if I can do that in a future version. Unexpected Maker is going to start labeling his junctions to throw off the idiots like me. Yeah. Paul Target, at least you did it on the most forgiving of social media sites. I actually find electronics Twitter to be very reasonable. I don't know if I guess if you got past a certain size, you'd start getting maybe exposed to not nice people. But like I find my social media is incredibly like pleasant. I don't have problem now. I do say that as a white guy on social media, so I'm sure I get treated differently to some other people. But yeah, like it
You also
very
don't
pleasant.
get very political, so
I
that's
don't.
also-
Yeah, I do not. I don't actually have very strong political opinions on a lot of stuff. I probably would lean one way or I would lean Democratic other than Republican if you were to label me in the American system. But I don't have very strong political opinions on stuff.
I did retweet an Obama tweet once, and someone was contacting me and like that I would not seriously retweet this because I would stand for the message behind it, and it was a very generic positive message. So I was very confused by the person and told them basically like, mate, sorry, but no, I will not undo that retweet. But yeah, mostly the political stuff that I do is in a sub comment, and it's German. So
yeah,
I don't think that I hope not everyone is annoyed by that, seeing like, oh, Dave posted something.
I saw you were tweeting, was it today or yesterday, about AstraZeneca, but I couldn't follow what you were like because you were posting like articles.
That was today, and a lot of German.
I saw like the fact that Germany has stopped using it. I think that was the overall arching thing. But anytime you linked to something that was in German, and I never went down that rabbit hole. But it
was tricky to get something that was relevant and English, so I just posted the German stuff for the people that were in Germany and probably are able to translate it at least.
Yeah. So Unexpected Maker bought those wire strippers, so they better be life-changing. They are definitely the best wire strippers I've ever had. But maybe I've just said crap wire strippers. Paul is saying probably worth checking that the USB cables isn't obscured in the cable chip somehow. I doubt it is, but it's worth checking. I don't think that'll be a problem for the Flexi Friend. Like, is in like connecting the Earth thing at the Flexi Friend side as opposed to on the TS100. It'd literally be the exact same. Like, is in like the only like it would be the length of this cable is the only difference between it. So like I don't think it'll cause any problems to do the earthing on the Flexi Friend side because it would be, connected to the same pins basically, but just a bit further away. And did I use Alex's affiliate link? No, I did not use Alex's affiliate link because I bought it off Amazon.co.uk. I don't believe Alex has an affiliate link for that. I lost my German affiliate link to Amazon. I didn't sell enough stuff, apparently. So they were like, no, we're taking that off you. So sad times. So I think that's pretty much it for me. Now, I must check my AliExpress affiliate link stuff. I haven't looked at it in yonks. Does anybody want to see, or anybody curious to what I got on AliExpress affiliate last month? Does anyone care about that?
You want to show numbers?
I'll say numbers. I won't show anything in case I reveal something private, but I will say numbers.
Can we guess? Should we?
Yeah,
guess?
Of course. Yeah,
people should guess first.
Okay.
Put it.
Can people guess how much money in US dollars I made last month on AliExpress's affiliate link service?
Ooh. Can you see how many items it was and like that you got something on?
Yeah,
give it a second or two.
Yeah, I think I can see that. So, okay, let me do for the month of February. I don't know. Let me do from the month of February.
Did we get some numbers?
I'm sure there's been some numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, month of February. Okay, yeah, it was that same number. Okay, so we have we have very large ranges here. We have 50 euro cent, 33.33 cents. I think that was a loaded answer. 134, 325. Did you get to affiliate on Looney's toys? Which were his toys? 42 cent. You need to pay them $100. February is the shortest. That's true. I also didn't release any videos in February, so 5. Okay, so to give a little bit more context, apparently there was 591 completed orders.
Ooh.
And nearly 5,000 clicks, which is a lot.
Anyone want to change the numbers here?
Yeah, does that make people want to change numbers?
Can we even track that?
No. Okay, will I say what it is? I raised to €2. Shut my
No. I mean,
now we're talking.
How much can you really earn from one transaction?
It depends on the value of the product. Somebody ordered like a really expensive like motor before on AliExpress, which I would never link to, but obviously it was through the cookies or whatever. But I don't know how to dig into this. I'm calling my bluff. So Unexpected Makers sticking to $135. Okay. Right. The first number begins with 2. I think we've dragged this out long enough. So last month I earned, I don't know if it's fully confirmed yet, because you only get officially paid when they confirm like the order. So you know the way when AliExpress says like, hey, it looks like you got this. Do you want to confirm that you got it? Either if the order times out or you've confirmed it, that's when the person with the affiliate link gets paid. $261.49.
Wow.
Which that's significant. Yeah. Unexpected Makers at 235. Yeah, that's pretty close.
When you said it started with 2, I was like, maybe it's 20 something, but yeah, then you said it. Nice.
So that like to give a comparison, in the last 28 days on YouTube, I made $66. So I made somebody else do the maths, but what, 4 times as much off AliExpress? Basically 4 times off AliExpress as YouTube in the last month. That is not insignificant at all. Not a bit.
Kind of half my rent, so that's
well. This is a different conversation, but like I pay like 50% tax on that, basically. So yeah, the higher rate of tax in Ireland kicks in pretty early. Okay, I think it's like €34,000, which is, that's not an insignificant amount of money either, but like that's lower than the average person is on. So if you're on the average wage in Ireland, you were paying some percentage of the higher rate of tax. And yes, I am over the higher rate of tax. So some people are saying like it's way better than expected. I want to kind of quell like the excitement around it. I think I'm lucky that I do like that. My most popular video is about the LED matrices, and they're $20 each. So like if I'm getting 8% of that, that's nearly $2 per LED matrix. So that's probably where the money comes from. So like it would not be an automatic thing that start a YouTube channel, you're going to earn $200 a month off AliExpress. That is not the case at all. Ireland is a corporate tax haven for multinationals, maybe not the low level guys like me. So you're saying only do videos on expensive things? Well, it depends on what your goal is, but maybe.
If Colin makes a video, we're gonna share it. That's the deal.
Can you not set your parts? Yes, you absolutely can do that. So, so my cost, this camera that is arriving, I will buy that from income, as the camera is an expense, a business expense. So if I earned €500 this year, I wouldn't pay any tax on it because that camera costs €500. So yeah, that sort of stuff would definitely be a business expense. Stephen Ludgate got an LED panel through my links, so thanks for that $2. Unexpected Maker got $143.99. I think so Sion is a bigger channel than me now, pretty significantly in terms of like how many views he would generate a month and stuff like that. But the type of videos he does doesn't normally lend to affiliate linking. Like, as in, if you do a project video that somebody wants to build or intends to build at some stage, they're more likely to get affiliate link sales, I would say.
It's very nice of him to lowball you. Like, I'm gonna make. I made $140, so Brian must have made $135. Why? I wasn't even aware that
I've talked to Sion about this before. So like he would, as far as I know, he'd be aware that like there was a disparity, like as I probably earn more. So I doubt he even looked until just now. No. I don't think it was a case of like, hey, I'm gonna lowball you. Yeah, like Stephen has said that his balance is 82 cents. You haven't released a video in ages. We need some more. We need some more post bags so we can spend money.
Just a quick little retro, vintage, nostalgic post bag thing, and then the cash is coming in.
Yeah, only on really expensive stuff. So in this post bag, I got like
this flip dot.
This giant flip dot. Yeah.
Display. Yeah.
I used to run a
website. Single flip dot. That's nice.
I used to run a website that was. There was a shop in Ireland. It's in the UK as well, called Argos, and it's a weird kind of a shop. It's like it's been around like since the 90s in Ireland, anyways, where it has a catalog, and you walk into the store and say, I want one number of 951 blah 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 blah, and they bring it out to you at the counter, like as in you do not browse in the shop whatsoever. And I made a website that like checked the stock in all of them at once. Their website didn't allow you to do that, and I used to make 30 cents every time somebody reserved something, and it was quite nice. But they also had an eBay, the eBay store that like I put my eBay affiliate link to the Argos eBay store at one stage, and literally never earned anything ever. And then all of a sudden one order came in, and I don't even know what it was for, but like I made like $70 this one order. I was like, wow. Nice. Intermittent Tech makes $1,000 a month on AliExpress affiliate. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. But what is the majority of what it is? Would it be like LED strips and stuff? Because like you could easily spend a couple of $100 on LED strips, and you know, if you then get your 8% out of that, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's what's the light flashing? It's my it's the white balance of my camera auto adjusting. What do you think of the Pine? Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. LED strips, power supplies. Yeah, that makes sense. Like that's expensive.
Oh,
stuff.
IP cameras, nice.
Yeah. Joe saying, what do we think of the Pine Power desktop power supply? So presumably that's from the same company that make the Pine Sill, the open source. What's it called? The soldering iron. I have one of the Pine Sills up there that I intend to review at some stage, but probably won't. I don't know. I don't know anything about their desktop power supply, but as far as I know, their stuff is generally pretty good.
It sounds nice to have a desktop power supply.
Although I did see someone say on Twitter that they were using their Pine Sill and it crashed. Their soldering iron crashed. That is an interesting time that we've got into. That was a lot of people. Like there was a lot of people complaining about the TS100 as well. That like, why does it need an accelerometer and stuff like that? And I guess it crashing is the exact opposite of what you want with that sort of stuff. But
I just had a weird memory. Well, no, I just remembered something. I was wondering what weird stuff we have not digitized, but kind of electronic. Well, we have put in electronics or are doing things now with electronics that wouldn't need electronics in the first place. Like, and I think the weirdest thing is cigarettes, electronic cigarettes that you charge where batteries in there and something burns or vaporizes. It's such a weird concept. Like, who comes up with that?
That's true. The open source pencil. Let me get that.
And I think I saw a literal cigarette-shaped thing, and they probably use the battery packs that are in the iPod things that you put in your ear. What is this?
That's the box for the Pine Sill. So pine, like the tree, and then CIL at the end of it. And I also bought the additional tips, but as far as I know, they are pin compatible with these. But I haven't actually tried, so I don't know that for sure. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $25 or something. Pine like the tree, pine like the tree, Pine Sill. Yes, that is that is the correct spelling of it, Pine Sill. Yeah. I have to get back into just making a couple of videos. I have a couple of kind of quick sort of ones that I wouldn't mind doing, like that Pine Sill one. Like the Pine Sill is clearly inspired by the TS100, so I don't have a huge amount of experience with the Pine Sill, but like I could, presumably compare it to a TS100 pretty easily. And I also have one other soldering iron that costs like about $12 that is also similar to a TS100. My biggest problem with that is I need to just double check that it's still available. So oops, got it.
I have those 5-volt USB soldering iron that I bought. That was like €5 or €6 from AliExpress. And I bought it and later got it. But in between that, I was with Alex, Tiny LED Metrics, at the Chaos Communication Congress number. I don't know the number anymore. It was 2 or 3 years ago. And he plugged it into his power bank. And the whole thing started to glow orange because it got too much power. So that's, yeah. That's I think the Tears 100 tops that. It's probably already miles better.
I think it probably is. So James is saying that I need is a big ongoing project that you think will take a few months, but is still going after 2 years. Just saying. I respect the hell out of you, James, to stick with the same project for as long as you have. Like I am the dogs from Up, like, and everything is my squirrel. Like just. I am so easily distracted. Yeah, so
I always have this peak of 2 weeks where I'm totally focused and interested in something, and then it's gone. I bought the Casio mini keyboards that are and that I wanted to fix and try to get in how the LCD driver works, so I can get the blinking beats per minute display thingy. Well, there's just one tiny bit that blinks, and I was looking into all of that, and then just one day it stopped, and the next project was there.
Yeah, that's life, isn't it? This made me laugh. The oven emailed me to say the fridge door was open. I asked how it knew, and the oven said the kettle told them. That is Internet of Things in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually do not have much Internet of Things stuff at all. Like I do have a smart speaker made by Amazon in my kitchen that is used for Spotify and alarms, nothing else.
Yeah. Same. Weather.
We have a robot Hoover. I guess that's kind of smart tech. We don't really use the internet connected element of it whatsoever, so that's fine. Then the robot the robot lawnmower is the greatest invention ever. That is, I'm curious, there is 28 people here. Would people that are normally into the videos I watch be interested in a robot lawnmower video? Because I kind of want to talk about it. I love it so much. It is one of the best things I've ever bought.
I mean, if you can open it, even better, because then we can.
Not opening it. You could.
Well, then shows the backside and the motor and spinning or shows the interface. I don't know, but it sounds really cool, and I think that would be.
God. They're so
if I would
cool.
be a house owner before I buy a vacuum robot thingy, I would buy something to mow the lawn, because
the robot mower, like I have, like, dreamt is kind of a strange word. It's probably too strong of a word, but I have wanted to get a robot mower for years, and we just never felt like getting it in the rented house. It was much cheaper or much less expensive than I thought it was going to be. And if I knew now what it was like in terms of cost and like the difficulty of installing it, which was not much, I would have bought one in the rented house years ago. Absolutely no question. It's just so good. I kind of want to talk. This is true. Kind of want to talk about it. Kind of want to post an affiliate link to
it. Even better.
If you can buy it there. No, the place I bought it does not have affiliate links, so I would obviously link to an Amazon one if it was there, but I will also link to the place I bought it to. I also sneak peek. I'm going to say probably do a joke in that video if I do it, that I emailed Works asking, like, hey, would they send me a robot mower and I'll make a video on it, and they never responded. So no. But I have a lot of Works stuff, the brand WORX.
Yeah.
Are they a German brand? I feel like they're kind of a Chinese brand that like sort of
tries to be German.
Like, you know.
Okay. Did you tell them that you already have a robot?
No, but this was before I had one.
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah. Then you're just trying to grab one for free.
I was, of course, I was. I was trying to grab one for free, but I would have made the video about it.
I'm a social media influencer.
Yeah, I'm an influencer. Give me free stuff. But I have a lot of work stuff already. So like I can kind of picture this like I could just picture this like panning shot of all my work stuff of like, you know, I asked Works would they send me a thing, but they completely ignored me. So I don't know, buy a D-wall drill or something and knock over my drills. Yeah. I do like their stuff though. I think it's pretty good.
Oh. Yeah.
Sure told me to pound sand when I asked for a mic for the podcast. At least they replied to you. Yeah. Can you set it to do different heights automatically? Mine is not adjustable for sorry. There's a dial on mine that twists to say how yeah. Hey Brian, I love my giant water park slide I got from Ali. Can I talk about it? Yeah. You can buy crazy stuff on like AliExpress, like $5,000 water park slides.
I wonder what's the most expensive thing that you can buy on AliExpress.
Oh, like you can buy diggers and stuff on it, like as in I don't know. Sky's the limit, I would say. Yeah. You said twist and it says how high. Pretty much yeah, so
I think we inspired Steven definitely to do another video.
Yeah, especially if you can get all this affiliate link money that's bumping around. Just affiliate link to any Amazon one and a $5.99 AliExpress one. I did toy with the idea of buying one from AliExpress, and it was actually Colin Hickey that talked me out of it because he was like, the Works ones are are as cheap as the AliExpress ones, and you like get a warranty with it. Like mine comes with a 5-year warranty. Which is crazy, and it costs less than the AliExpress one was. So, Works. Another handy thing about the Works one, not that we're turning this into be selling this thing now, because I've no affiliate links for it, is that it takes drill batteries. So if the drill or if the battery like deteriorates after a while, you just literally lift up the back of it and slot in a new battery. Like you don't even need to open it to put in a new battery.
No.
Hold up, you don't get a warranty on AliExpress? Probably not.
What?
It's a pro work stream. Is that like a communist reference or something? Yeah, pro works. We're a pro works kind of place.
Maybe it's just a Britney Spears quote and we don't know it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a reference to like the Workers' Party and stuff like that. That which would be, maybe I could be wrong. That's this warranty you talk about it. I'll pump up my giant unicorn pool toy. Get my next video up. Well, let's stick a few LEDs in it and away you go. Yeah, Sion bought half the US national debt on AliExpress. Yeah.
Bargain.
So, just out of curiosity, actually, have you seen Yacht and Speedboat channel? I think everybody's getting on this, like, sell the expensive stuff on affiliate links. But just out of interest, so often when we end the broadcast of live streams, we have conversations similar to this, including on the MakerCast. And I think I was talking to Dave for like half an hour after the stream ended last week.
I think it was longer. It was an hour.
Was it an hour?
We stopped past 12 for me.
So we kind of jokingly call it like after dark. What is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so I just got sent a pretty expensive item on AliExpress. What the hell? There's even a more expensive one in the linked stuff, and I can get 7% commission on it. So hold on, let me. Of course, I'm going to affiliate link this as well. But so this was from Mark Olson, except then I moved to the more expensive thing. If one of you buys that, I will earn 41,000 euro commission. So please buy. Yeah. After dark, like the H3. Yeah, it's basically when the cameras go off, you just talk crap. And this, you're getting a good insight to what the conversation is. Come on. Well, do you know what? The other thing you could do is I will send you a carpet for 600,000 euro. I'll send you one for 500,000 euro. And then I get 500,000 euro and not 40,000 euro. Yeah. Talk more crap than this. No, this is the After Dark. There is no more crap than this. We have brought the After Dark into the light. Yeah, but you know what? It's sometimes it can be quite interesting. Like I think, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe people find the affiliate thing link stuff interesting. Like if you want to know why people have affiliate links, that is why it pays more than YouTube ads. And if you want to know why people take sponsors, that is why, because it pays more than YouTube ads. Yeah, so there's behind the scenes of a YouTuber where we try to get you to click on affiliate links and watch our ads. Because the other ads you watch in the front of our videos don't pay enough. Yeah. And throughout the videos and stuff. But I have YouTube Premium, so I really do not notice the amount of ads that are on YouTube. But like if I like my tablet isn't signed into my YouTube account, and if I look at a video on it, it's like, oh my god, this is awful. Why does anybody do this? Yeah, so free shipping. Yeah, there is free shipping on that 1,000-year-old carpet. So, and like, there is no way somebody is sending like a genuine 1,000-year-old thing on AliExpress, right? Like nobody's going to AliExpress to look for that stuff. So is somebody buying a fake 1,000-year-old carpet on AliExpress for 600,000 euro? Like I can't imagine it.
Can you buy two?
That's true. No, there's only one left.
Okay, good.
Imagine the import tax on that as well.
Yeah.
Did I fill in my YouTuber tax form yet? No, I have not. So YouTube sent an email to everybody who's earning money outside of the US saying, hey, you need to fill in this tax form or we're going to start charging you 24% tax or something. And I was like, yeah, but apparently it's not a big deal. That most countries have like an agreement that it won't be a thing. So yeah, I buy all my cruise ships. Yeah, you can buy cruise ships at AliExpress.
Maybe the carpet comes with a boat, so you don't have to pay shipping taxes.
Ah, that's pretty clever. The same seller is selling an Anchor speaker. Yep. You can just imagine them having a room set up like me, got all their Tindy stock, and then their 1,000-year-old carpet.
Yeah, that's just under all these speakers that they are selling more of, so they have to organize their stock.
Unexpected Maker did his immediately. I have not. This is, other than work today, this is by far the longest I've spent sitting at a computer in the last like week. Yeah, so. But it is St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday, which is a national holiday in Ireland. Woo! So
already.
paint your rivers green, have your green beers, tell everybody top of the morning.
This is St. Patrick's week then? You're kind of doing the whole week thing?
We don't really have a week. it's just a day. Yeah, it's the 17th of March is St. It Day.
Right.
And it's always the 17th of March, whenever that falls.
I was there one time, and it was very green, but there were lots of things around the day that were considered St. Patrick's Week. So
yeah, so you that was a Temple Bar that you would have been in, was it?
Oh yeah.
I've never been in Dublin for St. Patrick's Day. I'd imagine it's crazy.
Well, my sister worked there at Temple Bar in that time, and yeah, that was definitely crazy, and the beer was expensive, very expensive.
It's just me. There's that carpet, a weird money laundering thing. It'd be an expensive money laundering thing because I think AliExpress is quite expensive commission wise, but then again, I think if Ozarks have told me anything, it's pretty expensive to launder money. Peter will be consuming plenty of green here in Colorado. Feel like that's a different green, but I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into the Colorado thing. Are bars open in Ireland? No, they are not. They were open for a few weeks in December, but in general, they have not been open in a year. So we are back in lockdown. That store where you can buy a $900,000 carpet and a $20 power bank in the same order. Like, give the people what they want. There's something missing in my in my view of that, but I presume there is an emoji of a tree. Yeah. Brian, I'm spot on. Yep, lockdown. Back in lockdown. Yeah. Maybe I should have called this the lockdown or something rather than Project Doc. Maybe it'd get it across that how my name is pronounced. People would probably just call it the lowdown, though, which also makes sense.
Yeah, for an after show, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this could be called the lowdown. Pubs open on the 29th here, outdoor only. So that's in the UK. St. Patrick's Day without pubs. Yeah. As a person who doesn't drink, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me now. So
it was with pubs open. It wasn't that good either. So it was very crowded. I was constantly like moving people around. Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think Temple Bar is a bit like that, anyways, but just not during the day. Like I used to work in a bar in Ireland, in the town I'm from, Athlone, and St. Patrick's Day was messy. Like people at like 6 o'clock during the day would be like, done.
Yeah. But I was surprised when I saw all this. There was no public drinking, and I wasn't aware that it's not allowed there, like over there in Ireland.
Yeah, I guess there's not.
Yeah. That was surprising.
Although, like, I don't know how strict that is in a lot of places, because, like, there's kind of I don't know if it's not really a joke, maybe, but like, it's kind of a thing that people do, bag of cans with the lads, where they'd get a shopping bag. No, not a brown bag, like a plastic carrier bag from like a shop, like of cans, and they go down to the river and drink them down there. Bag of cans with the lads. Good times. Get the lowdown on the lockdown. Yep. The lockdown. Yeah. Not enough lockdowns in that. The lowdown on the lockdown. I was actually I had mentioned earlier about a European stockist of my stuff coming online pretty soon, and it was funny, in our emails there was some confusion over LEAD, where there was some confusion over whether it was lead like is in
Yeah.
lead times, or lead, as in the material, because I used both things in the email, and there was some confusion over. But that's just written English for you, right? That two words with completely different meanings have the exact same spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one would guess that an Irish person and a British person or European person
Could be anybody.
Could be anybody. Could be a German person speaking English. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, would be able to communicate in a language that
You would think so. I'm sure even Irish people can communicate sometimes. Like there's some regions of Ireland that would use words I wouldn't use. Now, I'd mainly know what they were, but I just wouldn't use them in my context. What's the lead time on my lead order? Like that's exactly the problem. Like as in, to somebody learning English, they're like, why is that LEAD pronounced differently to that one? And it's just like, it's just the context. Like, what's the lead time on my lead order? Maybe that makes sense. What was funny was in my Discord, in the supporters section, I was telling them about this confusion that was happening, and I literally was about to type out, but it did lead to some confusion, which is, like another LEAD that, it's the same as lead time, I guess, but, it's another meaning that, I don't know.
It's like the French let no, the it was another word. I think something with ont.
I don't remember what it is.
Where they just type in like and taunt, and then there's taunt and tong and like the tent, and for British guys it's probably lead.
It led to the lead. Yeah, it led to the lead being destroyed. Yeah, that would be pronounced the same. But
let the lead glow.
Yeah, but I guess that's potentially. I guess it led to the lead being destroyed. It leads, but then if you put an S at the end of that, it would be it would lead. It would lead. Yeah, actually, if it's then, if you change the tense of it, the same word is pronounced differently, even though it means the same, like spelled the same, pronounced differently. It would lead to the lead being destroyed, which and this is why nobody can pronounce my name. Bought drought. Yeah, though true, thorough, cough, tough. Like that doesn't make any sense. And then lock. LOUGH. All the same. Also, lead. Okay, that lead has a different spelling. It led to the lead being destroyed. Okay, it would lead to the lead being destroyed. Okay, good. Dutch is a mess too. Fair enough. I before E, except when you foreign neighbor Keith receives 8 counterfeit beige sleighs from feisty caffeinated weightlifters. Yeah, that rule never makes sense to me. Like I before E, except after C. And then there's another part to that, or something, A in a neighboring way or something. Yeah. Like
weird.
English is a mess. Buffalo. Good night, Colin. I think it's bedtime for me too, to be honest, because I have to now go fill this European order and maybe some Tindy orders. Although I'm not going to do the Tindy orders. If you ordered from me on Tindy, it'll be shipped out on Thursday, and I will probably
go to Switzerland.
It won't go to Switzerland. Why not?
It won't go to Switzerland.
Why not?
I'm trying to confuse people even more.
Oh, that thing. No, that's fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
Most people probably know what it is, anyways. There was a guy I met at the Maker Faire who was potentially interested in taking the ESP32 matrix board. Do you remember he was the guy who had the backpack that had the Hub 75 panel attached to it. Yeah, he had those LED badges that everybody had. What was it? Semitronics? Yeah, that place. I emailed him. He never responded.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
he
they
gave me
have
his
the.
card, but no.
There's a Berry Base shop. Berry Base. That's actually the name of the shop. That's part of Segor, and it's in Berlin, and they have plenty of modules and stuff. So
No,
maybe they
never.
already bought it.
He just hated me, I think. No, it's fine. I was so hurt.
Mike was getting back at me for being on so long.
Dave is the longest 10 minutes. Yeah, you've been on an hour and 10 minutes.
I just wanted to show some 3D prints.
Yeah, poor Dave wanted to go to bed like an hour ago, and I've just been dragging him into my after dark. Okay, it is time to go. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Really appreciate it. It's been another fun evening of project docking and then crap talking. Let's call it a day. Have a good night. I will talk to you next week, and have a good St. Patrick's Day. I give you full permission to try imitate a leprechaun on Wednesday, and tell me all about it. Top of the morning to all of you. Okay. Ciao, everybody. Take it easy. We witnessed the After Dark. You sure did. Bye-bye.